Hey everybody, it's your pal Trandell. Here we are yet again. I wanted to get a quick farming guide out. Well, maybe not so quick because there's quite a bit that goes on in farming. In Once Human, the new open world survival MMO game that is currently in closed beta and has got me pretty hooked. I've been playing it quite a bit since the closed beta started on the 6th, and I've been having a great time. So, wanted to get a quick farming video out because, like I said, there's a lot here. Now, hopefully the sun will stay out for a little bit longer. Now, farming. All right. Now, as you progress and level up and play through the game, you will get the opportunity in the memetics menu to be able to learn farming. You're going to find that over here, and it's a little bit further down in the tree. Now, to get to this area, you will have to defeat the Foul Shadow Hunter. That's the first, really main boss that you will encounter after the tutorial. Once you defeat the Foul Shadow Hunter, then you'll be able to unlock farming. Thankfully, they've changed it. NetEase and the developers, Starry Night, they've been pushing out all kinds of patches and updates and changes since this closed beta started, which is amazing. When I first learned this, you needed to have fertilizer to build the planter box. They changed that, I think it was last night or this morning or something. Now these are the items it requires. So you don't need fertilizer anymore. You just need spoiled food, which is easy. All this stuff you're going to be able to have access to by the time you defeat the Foul Shadow Hunter, and you're able to learn this. Cool. Now, you got that. Once you got that learned, basically, you go to your base, open up the base building options, and you're going to find it under Facilities and Functional. Here's your planter box. Kind of like everything else in the game. You pop it down like you would any other items. I am going to be super careful because if you've seen my video about the deviant creatures and how to use those, you will know your biogel does not like crops at all. If you notice at my base, none of my crops are over here because on the first floor right down here, my biogel is there. Anyways, tangent aside, you're going to put down your planter box, and there's a couple things that are going to go on. Now, so once you put it down, you open up, there's a couple things that we're going to see here, some stats. One is going to need to be the irrigation stat. That's how much water is currently in the soil. The second thing is going to be the adaptation to light. Now, the tooltip will kind of tell you that artificial light will work. I have never been able to get any of my artificial lights to work. The only thing that has been able to work is natural light. Artificial light, unless there's some grow light somewhere that I haven't found, I haven't been able to get it to work. So you're going to want your planter outside. Now, some of you might be wondering why I have this roof over all my plants. Well, there's a couple tricks I have learned since starting farming. If you don't have this roof here and it rains, well, kind of like in the real world, if rain falls on your crops, it's going to wet your soil. And that is both good and bad because some of your plants, like these guys over here, the beets, they are very particular about how much water they get. And if they're outside and you don't have them covered by a roof and it starts to rain, it can easily easily go ahead and put your irrigation level way too high for some of your plants. So to control that, I have all my plants under a roof. Now here's the other thing though. You might notice that there's no walls. I tried originally having a fully enclosed space with some windows. That did not work. Even with the windows, it wasn't showing that there was any natural light being, my plants weren't being exposed to any natural light. So the walls had to go. But using these columns for supports and roof for some cover, this does work. And you will notice, even over here, in this dark area that's completely covered, my plants are still getting natural light. As long as there are no walls, your planter boxes will still get natural light. So those are a couple really big tips I've learned through trial and error and trying to figure all this out. Now, the other thing you want to do when you do get ready to put down your plants, be very careful with how much water you originally put them in. Don't make the mistake that I did. And here, let's get some seeds. Here we go. Where are my blueberries? Pumpkin, cabbage. Huh, do I know? Oh, wait, did I already pick them up? I did. Okay. So when I first started planting, I planted a bunch of blueberries. And if you notice, the irrigation level goes all the way to 100. So I planted, some blueberries, knocked the water level up to 100. Everything was hunky-dory, right? Well, after that harvest, when I wanted to plant some more beets, and I went to plant it in there, come to find out, the irrigation level had only gone down 1 or 2 points. And so it was still at like 96 or something like that, which was way too much water for the beets. I actually went through quite a few beet seeds before I could actually figure out how this worked. So don't overwater your plants. Take these oranges, perfect example. The water levels are between 50 and 90. So you click your orange. Here's another thing too. You do not need fertilizer. You don't. Everything that I've been growing so far grows just fine without fertilizer. So once you get your plant in, you go ahead and you throw in some water. I usually stick right around here. This seems to be a pretty good, level of water. And I just keep an eye on it. So once you have it watered, that's it. You're good to go. If everything works out correctly and you got good light when you first plant it and you got it watered correctly, your plant's vitality is going to be really high. You want to keep this vitality really high. The higher this number stays, the more fruits, the more vegetables or whatever you're planting, you'll be able to harvest when the time comes. And then once you have it planted, you'll be able to see it right here. So it goes through 3 stages. Germination is the first. Now, depending on the plant, these stages can take a while. Like these beets are taking forever. This is the last stage right here is growth. And then after growth is the harvest stage. Now, according to the game tooltips, you have 24 hours to harvest once it hits the matured stage. I don't know if that's in-game time or real-world time. I haven't tested that out just yet. I'm hoping it's 24 hours real world time, because 24 hours in-game time, you could easily lose a bunch of plants if they go into that mature harvesting stage while, in the middle of the night while you're asleep or something like that. But yeah, they have 3 stages of germination, the growth period, like my beets are in right now, and after the growth period, that's the harvest stage after that. So you want to try to keep that vitality level like in my beets right here. I always press the wrong button. You want to keep this as high as possible. That way you can get a good growth. So 90 is where I'm usually at because it's very difficult to get that perfect 100%. I just got my water purifier set up. I've got most of my watering system done. And I'm hoping, because this guy did hit at 100. That's actually the first time I've been able to start at 100. The highest I've been able to start till now is 90, and I'm hoping that's because of that purified water. Actually, you know what? We could test this out. Let's see if that is it. What do we got? Let's see what this looks like. Oh, no. That's at 100 too. So it must, you know. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, it did go down. Okay. And that was the rest of my orange seeds. Let's see. I need some more wheat. Where is my wheat? Let's see what we can do with this. Wheat seeds. No fertilizer. Purified water. We'll start right here. Use. Okay, so yes, the purified water does seem to have a really good effect. So it will give you that 100% vitality. Let's see if we can get one more wheat in before the sun goes down, because that does matter a lot. Okay. Yeah, 100% vitality. Sweet. All right, awesome. So yeah, couple other tips. Now, let's go through a quick tour of my setup. So I have my little growing plots up here on the roof of my base. I do have them covered. That way I can control the irrigation levels. That way they're not getting rained on. The other thing I also have up here is I have 2 storage boxes. One for water, one for seeds. That way I'm not having to run around, and having to go downstairs or anything like that. Everything I need is right up here. Speaking of which, let me throw this in there. The other thing I also have is I have another level above this where I have some rain catching, some rain collection systems. Now, this is a fun tip in case you've never noticed this. When you are in the building menu, you see on the left, you have all your different menu options. If you've ever noticed, right next to V, there's a connect pipe. You can run pipes from your rainwater collection systems down to your water bucket. But here's a trick. Because the first time I did this, they were all on the same level. And when I ran the pipes, I ran them to here. Now, if you've noticed, the pipes have a directional kind of flow to them. When I first realized what was going on and my pipes were connected down here, the water flow was flowing from the bucket, not to the bucket. And that's when I had the idea of, okay, that's weird. And so when I was messing around and building my stuff up here, that's when I noticed this red ring on top of the water bucket. I'm like, huh, I wonder. And I just created a quick platform real fast, put one of my rainwater collectors up there, and sure as shoot. So there's two connections to your water bucket, one on top that goes in, and the spout down here that goes out. Now, when you are ready, you could theoretically most likely be able to connect an outlet pipe from here to your water purifier, and then you can run all the water from your rainwater collection system down into your bucket and then over to your osmosis water purifier. Actually, let's check real fast and find out. Let's see. Pipe. Wait. What? Okay, hold on. There's a max? Oh my god. Seriously? Now, okay, so for any developers that might be watching this video, okay. That was unpleasant. Yeah. That's why you have guardrails. Anyways, for any developers that might be watching this video, we need an option to get rid of wires and pipes. Right now, we do not have that option. If we do, it is hidden somewhere, and I have not been able to figure it out. The only way I've been able to figure that out is by actually destroying whatever is connected to said wire or pipe, and then rebuilding it, which is honestly an hassle. Because, yeah, there's no way that I've been able to figure out to get rid of pipes and wires. So, alright, let's get rid of that. Now, let's see if we can actually run this, now that we got one less pipe. Okay. Wait a second, that didn't seem right. Why is that going there too? Unless... Oh, is there another... So there's a valve there. Huh. So maybe there is only an outlet and not an inlet. Yeah, because I'm not seeing another connection point. I'm only seeing that one. So, okay. Well, now, unless... No. Yeah, so that's it. All right, so now we know. The purification system apparently does not have an inlet, only an outlet. But, in theory... I wonder if this could hold both. Oh, yeah. Because there's some purified water right here. And I did not put that in there. Hold on. Yeah. So here's a question. Let's see if it can hold both. I mean, in theory it should. Where is my dirty water? I thought I just picked it up. What happened here? Oh, there it goes. There was some weird lag or something. Oh yeah, so it can hold both. Okay. I mean, that's convenient, I guess, because then you would have the dirty water coming from your rain collection system to the bucket, and then you would put it in here. That way, huh? Yeah, it definitely needs an input, and not just an output. But yeah, anyways, now we know. So yeah, that's how I have my water system set up. That way, everything for my farming is pretty much just right next to each other. I'm not having to go all over my base to find everything I'm looking for. And especially since farming is very time sensitive. When you first plant your crops, that's the most important time. If you don't have great sunlight, if it's dark, um, and you go to do that initial planting, that is definitely going to have a very huge impact on your plant's vitality. So you want to be able to make sure that you have everything you need either on hand or close by. That way when the sun comes out, you got that light out, you're ready to go. Everything is right there. That way you can get your crops into the dirt and get that highest vitality score possible. So that's farming. Pretty straightforward once you know some of the little tricks and stuff like that. The biggest one that, like I said, the thing that kind of tripped me up a lot when I was first starting was overwatering my plants. Now, let's say you did make that mistake. You planted some blueberries. You watered them to the max, and then when you went to harvest them, now you got a plot that has way too much water for some of your other crops. Well, the easiest way to do that, don't just let it sit there, because if you just let it sit there, it's not going to dry out or anything like that. It will stay at that super high irrigation level. The easiest way to fix that is go ahead, plant some more blueberries, but don't water it. Do not water it. So when you do your second planting of blueberries, leave the water levels alone. And as your blueberries go through the stages, the blueberries will use up the water and it will lower that irrigation level. That way, in your second harvest of blueberries, the irrigation level would have come down enough. Then when you harvest that crop of blueberries, then you can plant something else like oranges or wheat or beets, and it not being overwatered. So if you did make that same mistake where you planted a crop, maxed out your water levels, and then you're trying to figure out, well, how do I get rid of that irrigation level? Just plant a second crop. Do not water it. Again, do not water that second crop. It will take the water that's already in there, and then that way you can bring down the irrigation levels that way. That way you can go ahead and plant your next crop. And then, like I said, when you are watering your plants, I usually keep mine right around 70, no higher than 80. All the plants I've seen so far are usually right around this level. So that's where I've been keeping my irrigation levels now at this point, is right around here. That way, everything that I have, I can just keep on planting more and more plants and not have to worry about the irrigation level being too high for that initial planting. So yeah, there we go. That's my setup. That's a quick, beginner's guide into farming. As the beta progresses and as I get more and more levels in and time in and find new crops and stuff like that. If there's anything that I'm coming across that seems even more out there, with different mechanics or anything like that, I will go ahead and update the video. So if that does happen, keep an eye on the description. If there is any updates needed, I'll go ahead and put it in there. And depending on how many changes I come across, we might have to do a part 2 farming video. But yeah, that's it, folks. That's our beginner's guide to farming. Again, you do not need fertilizer, at least with the current crops I have found. You can get really good crops without fertilizer. But until then, like I said, if anything changes, you all will be the first to know. All right, guys. I am getting tired. It's getting a little bit late. I've put out quite a few videos today. But I'm hoping you're all enjoying it. I'm hoping the videos are helping. I'm having a blast in the game. I'm super excited to keep exploring and finding out more things. And what I find out, I'll be more than happy to share with the rest of the Once Human community. So, as always, I appreciate you all. You take care of yourselves. You take care of each other. And until next time, this is your boy Trandell, signing out.